Somebody's definitely outside.
Venturing into the woods alone at night can be terrifying. Quick interruption. If you're enjoying this video, why not hit that subscribe button? We're on a mission to hit 300,000 subscribers, and when we do, 3 lucky fans will win a limited edition items. Right now, 61.2% of you watching haven't subscribed yet. We're pushing for at least 40%, and we need your help to make it happen. It's completely free, and your support helps us make even more awesome videos. So, don't miss out, subscribe now, and let's get back to the video. Venturing into the woods alone at night can be terrifying. But what happens when you encounter someone, or something, you'd rather never meet? Like this first encounter experienced by Ever and Sanem, the couple behind the YouTube channel Ramble Soul, are known for sharing their love of nature, travel, and camping in some of the most breathtaking locations. But as beautiful as the wild can be, it also holds its share of unpredictability. And in the video they posted on October 29, 2023, things didn't go quite as planned. They had picked a stunning, tranquil spot by a mountain lake, surrounded by silence and scenery. With their little boat with them and high hopes of catching some fresh fish for dinner, the couple began setting up camp, excited to spend a few peaceful nights off the grid. Everything seemed perfect, until later on, when the serenity of their getaway took an unsettling turn.
Güzel ha.
Evet.
Açıldı.
After spending some time setting up camp and making their spot as cozy as possible, Ever and Sanem were pleased with the result. Satisfied, they decided to try their luck at catching some fish for dinner that night. However, after a while without success, they agreed to call it a night and try again the next day. The wind started to pick up and the air turned colder. But even so, the couple refused to let the chill dampen their positive energy. Embracing the unexpected shift, they settled in to enjoy the evening together, making the best of the changing weather with warmth, laughter, and quiet moments by the campfire.
Of.
Hazır mısın?
Hazır olmaz mıyım ya? Fark ediyor mu?
Fark
İkisi
etmez.
aynı.
Aynı.
Ever and Sanem had a wonderful evening together, ending their day wrapped in the stillness of the mountains. Surrounded by nature's calm, they eventually drifted off to sleep, grateful for the peaceful retreat they'd found. When morning came, the gentle sound of birdsong greeted them, echoing across the lake and through the trees. It felt like the perfect start to another relaxing day in paradise. But just as they sat down to enjoy a quiet breakfast, everything took a sudden and terrifying turn.
Oh. Oo. O ne ya?
Aşkım. Ya. Saçmalama. Dur.
Şunu al. Ne var içeride?
Oh.
Sana yangın arabanın anahtarı.
This must have been an incredibly shocking experience, to go from total peace to suddenly seeing your little remote home engulfed in flames. Out there, far from immediate help, the panic must have hit hard, and putting out the fire wasn't easy either. They had to act fast and think smart, knowing that every second counted.
Ya patlar mı onlar?
Patlayacak bir şey yok. Çok yaklaşma. Tüpler patlayabilir. Sana bir su getirsene şeyden.
Şurada.
Ha olur.
Sevgili nasıl
Patlamaz ya.
yapacağız?
Patlamaz. Şunu da al. Ver onu bana.
Of ya.
Aa. Ah.
Canım.
Ha?
Nasıl dökeceğiz bunu?
Ver ben dökerim. Dur şunu koyayım.
Of ya. Of. Of ya.
Ta bagajın altındaki gözde. Yangın tüpü.
Söndü mü? Hale bak.
Ah. Ah.
Luckily, they had a fire extinguisher in their car, something people could overlook when heading out on a peaceful camping trip. Thanks to that, they managed to put the fire out just in time before it could spread any further. But the damage had already been done, and the couple was understandably devastated. What had started as a dream getaway had turned into a stressful and emotional ordeal. Seeing their setup scorched and part of their gear ruined only made the reality sink in deeper.
Of ya.
Ya böyle bir şey yok ya. Of. Ağlama. Ağlama yavrum, içeride olabilirdik, gece de olabilirdi. İnvertör yine takılıydı.
Ya.
Baksana ya.
Bu ne ya? Mahvoldu her şey.
Daha tutuşmaz buradan ya. Tüp bitti ya.
Yangın tüpü mü bitti?
Ha. Bu ne uyduruk bir şeymiş, hemen bitti bu.
Of ya, şu hale bak.
Ay yavrum vay.
After taking some time to calm down and process what had happened, Ever and Sanem cleaned up the campsite and had no other choice than to cut their getaway short. What had started as a peaceful escape into nature had turned into a frightening reminder of how quickly things can change. But in the midst of the disappointment, there was one undeniable relief. Their stove had been on all night. If the fire had started while they were sleeping, the outcome could have been far more tragic. That realization alone brought a wave of gratitude. It could have ended much worse. This experience became a powerful reminder for the couple, and for anyone watching, that even when everything seems perfect, the unexpected can strike in an instant. Nature is beautiful, but it also demands respect and preparation. So the next time you head out, ask yourself, would you be ready if things suddenly turned? But Ever and Sannon weren't the only ones who had to skip their plans earlier than expected. Alex from the YouTube channel Alex Morentes experienced something maybe even worse. Alex is a photographer based in Albuquerque, New Mexico, who documents his adventures exploring tunnels, ghost towns, and gritty street scenes. Sometimes those explorations lead him to sleep in his camper van, just as in this video he shared on November 26, 2024. On this trip, Alex had driven out to Yeso, New Mexico, a small, nearly forgotten town known for its crumbling buildings and eerie silence. His day unfolded like many of his others, soaking in the scenery, snapping photos, and exploring a handful of abandoned spots. Even though the area had a spooky energy to it, Alex felt at ease and enjoyed every moment of the solitude. As night fell and his exploring wrapped up, Alex started looking for a quiet, out-of-the-way place to park his van and settle in for the night. Everything seemed normal as he finally chose a spot to sleep. But what Alex didn't realize was that the calmness of that place would soon be shattered.
Well, guys, I'm having some dinner and wrapping it up for tonight. We're here in Yeso. I'm parked right in the middle of the ghost town. It's all deserted, so there's no one around. Pretty much surrounded by... the heater came out and scared the hell out of me. Surrounded by just houses that are a ghost town. So let me show you. I'm having some pozole that I warmed up on the stove, and then give you a little bit of a tour. Have all the lights on, have all the windows closed, including there's a curtain for the front that closes. This is the restroom here and shower, and then like I said, I have the windows closed. That's all, the windows are closed.
Being parked in the middle of a deserted area gave Alex mixed feelings. On one hand, it brought a certain sense of security. After all, the odds of someone randomly stumbling across his camper van in the middle of nowhere seemed low. But on the other hand, the complete isolation also left him uneasy. There was no one around, no passing cars, no nearby campers, just silence. Still, Alex tried to stay positive. He liked being off the grid, and this was part of the adventure after all. So, he set up for the night, had something to eat, and settled into his van, hoping for a peaceful sleep. But that uneasy gut feeling, the one he kept trying to ignore, wasn't just nerves. Something really was off.
So anyways, I'm going to sign off, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay? Bye.
Okay, guys. Something woke me up. I heard, I think, sounded like footsteps. I'm not sure if that's what woke me up. I put on my pants and my shoes, just for in case. I was asleep. I got all my windows closed. I got this light here, but I don't know if they can see it. But I suddenly heard footsteps. Something woke me up. I'm not sure what it was. Oh, fuck. Just for in case. Oh, shit, I heard the footsteps again. Looks like they went to the back. What the fuck? Okay. Somebody's definitely outside. I don't think I'm gonna stay here. Honestly, I end up shooting somebody. Fuck.
Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? There's somebody inside.
Son of a bitch. I don't even know if I want to go outside.
Who is it?
Fuck it. Fuck it.
I'm coming outside, man.
The fact that someone was walking around, knocking on his vehicle in the middle of the night, in a completely deserted area, and refusing to respond, was beyond unsettling. Thankfully, Alex was armed, but like any good person in that situation, the last thing he wanted was for it to escalate to something more serious. Still, sitting inside and doing nothing felt just as dangerous. So, despite the fear gnawing at him, Alex made a daring decision. He grabbed a flashlight, steadied his breath, and stepped outside to confront whoever was out there in the darkness.
Just so you know, I'm armed. I'm opening the door. Who's there?
Naturally, the experience left Alex completely on edge. The uneasy silence after the knocking, the lack of any response. It was enough to make anyone rethink staying the night. So without hesitation, he packed up and drove off, searching for a spot closer to civilization, somewhere with lights, people, and less mystery lurking in the shadows. Till this day, Alex has no idea who or what was outside his camper that night. Maybe when he called out and mentioned being armed, whoever was out there got scared and disappeared. Or maybe it wasn't a person at all. Whatever the truth is, that strange encounter remains unexplained. And as far as Alex was concerned, some mysteries are maybe better left unanswered. So what do you think? A late-night drifter with bad intentions? Someone playing a prank? Or could it have been something far more unexplainable? Let us know your thoughts, because out there in the middle of nowhere, you're not always as alone as you think. And with that unsettling thought, let's move on to the next clip. Shared on March 16th, 2022, by the YouTube channel Bigfoot Testimony. It shows a group of friends who had rented a remote bungalow to spend Christmas deep in nature, surrounded by peaceful, snow-covered forest. The atmosphere was relaxed, and they were enjoying a quiet holiday together. But during a casual hike through the woods, that calmly shifted, when they suddenly heard something they couldn't explain. A sound none of them had ever heard before.
Fucking hell. Oh, okay. It's not an animal, is it?
No further context was provided with the clip, so we can only hope the two made it back to their vacation bungalow safely. Viewers were quick to share their own thoughts. Some suggested it might have been tectonic plates shifting beneath the earth, while others were convinced it could be the cryptid known as Bigfoot. A few even claimed to have heard the exact same sound in the past. But to this day, no one has been able to say for certain what or who was behind the eerie noise echoing through those snowy woods. So what do you think caused it? Something natural, or something much harder to explain? In adventures like this, the real danger doesn't always come from the unknown. Sometimes it's from the people you didn't expect to find. And with that, prepare yourself for this next clip shared by Camp Like a Bayun, the channel where Bayun shares his passion for nature through a mix of relaxed, daring, and sometimes downright crazy stealth camping adventures, always with a touch of humor and education. Being out in nature is what he loves most, and getting to share those moments with the world makes it even better. In the video he shared on February 25th, 2023, Bayun set out for another stealth camping trip in a public park in Genk, Belgium. But this time, things didn't go quite as planned. Arriving during the day, the park was still fairly busy. So, taking his time, Bayun began scouting for a discreet spot to set up camp, patiently waiting for the crowds to thin out as evening approached.
I'm waiting for the people there to leave. Because, hey, that's a nice bird. What I was saying, I'm waiting for those people to leave, because in that forest behind them is where I'm going to set up camp. They're slowly leaving. They're taking pictures of the swans I'm out of breath. But let me take this off first. Here's my camp. Behind it is the lake, the pond, and there are lots of geese, plenty of geese.
After setting everything up for the night ahead, Bayun watched the sun begin to dip below the horizon. He gathered some wood to prepare dinner and settled into the peaceful rhythm of the evening. Up to this point, everything had gone exactly as planned. The spot was quiet, well hidden, and Bayun finally felt at ease, confident that the hardest part of stealth camping was behind him. But just as he lets his guard down, no longer worrying about getting caught or disturbed, he noticed something in the distance. At first, when Bayun noticed the lights flickering in the distance, he didn't think much of it. He figured it was probably just a couple of people out for a late-night walk. Nothing unusual for a park like this. But as the lights drew closer and the voices became clearer, it quickly became obvious. These weren't just harmless passers-by, and they weren't heading anywhere else.
Kom ja. Heel goed. We kunnen beginnen met een heel val slijf van verboden kamperen. Ja, vuurgrote verboden op de mijn bosweg. Dus we gaan heel gestresseerd proces vertaald kunnen worden in de natuur.
So guys, I got busted. I'm packing up my gear. I'm out of here. I have to go to the office. These foresters, they have an own office here at the domain. And they took my passport, they took 2 cameras. And we will see if what will be the verdict, I don't know. But I don't have much time. I have to pack and I have to walk all the way to my car that I parked further away. And I have to drive to their office and all this stuff. So, guys, I'm packing in the dark. What a boon adventure this is.
This must have been quite the surprise for Bayun. Even though he knew stealth camping in these woods wasn't exactly allowed, he truly believed he'd found the perfect hidden spot, tucked away, quiet, unnoticed. But clearly, it wasn't hidden enough. As he mentioned, Bayun had no choice but to pack up his gear and head to the police station. Fortunately, the authorities were understanding and let him off with just a warning this time. No fine, no charges, just a firm reminder that not every wild spot is meant for wild camping. It was a close call and a good lesson. Even the most peaceful-looking place might not be as off the radar as you think. So, would you still try stealth camping after this? If so, you might change your mind because of this clip that was shared by J9er, a YouTuber who's posted a wide variety of content over the past 9 years, ranging from adventurous explorations to sports moments and even snorkeling in Cancun. But the video he uploaded on March 14th, 2023, stands out as one of the more unsettling experiences he's shared. There isn't much background provided, but we do know he was camping alone somewhere in nature. And around 2 a.m., he was abruptly woken by a loud, unfamiliar sound echoing through the night. Curious, and understandably a bit uneasy, he unzipped his tent and started filming. The screaming sound continued for a few minutes before finally stopping, allowing him to fall back asleep. Still, the experience clearly left an impression. Being alone in the wilderness and hearing something so strange, with no clear source, that's something you don't easily forget. And to this day, Jay Niner says he has no idea what he heard that night. Some viewers think it might have been an animal. Others say it sounded too unnatural. So what do you think made that sound? A person? A creature? Or something even stranger? But this wasn't the only night that ended with more questions than answers. Ben, the creator behind the YouTube channel 401 Files, is known for diving deep into the unexplained, investigating bizarre phenomena, eerie encounters, and mysterious legends. With a strong passion for the outdoors, Ben often takes his viewers along on solo camping trips that blend mystery with nature. And in this video, shared on September 27, 2023, Ben sets out with his loyal dog Lily for another stealth camping trip in the North York Moors National Park in England, an area long considered a hotspot for high strangeness. With countless reports of unusual sightings and unexplainable activity, it's exactly the kind of place that draws Ben in. And so, driven by curiosity and a willingness to face the unknown, he decides to spend the night deep within the moors, to see for himself what might be out there.
You know, as with a lot of the places that I explore, throughout the day it's a beautiful location. There's not really much here now that is giving me the heebie-jeebies. Like, there's nothing here giving me a bad vibe. The hair isn't standing up on the back of my neck for any reason. It's just genuinely a beautiful location. But as we all know here on the channel, these locations, these hotspots for strange phenomena, take on a different character altogether after nightfall. Now, I'm not suggesting that things can't happen and people can't have experiences here throughout the day, because they can. And in fact, most of the things that come from this area, most of the reports, do happen throughout the day. But I just feel like exploring and investigating in any location after nightfall makes the task that much easier, because it eliminates straight away a lot of human and man-made things that we might hear or see. After nightfall in this location, there should be really no real reason for anybody to be here other than me.
After spending some time chatting with his viewers and wandering through the area, Ben begins setting up camp for the night. He's chosen a spot near an ancient site, where, over 2,000 years ago, the Romans built a series of fortifications. Over the years, this location has gained a reputation for strange occurrences. Countless people have reported seeing shadowy figures, hearing distant footsteps, or experiencing an overwhelming sense of being watched. And Ben, of course, hopes to encounter something out of the ordinary himself.
You can see it more clearly now. Obviously, built-up ground on this side comes down into this ditch and back up at this side. Now, on the opposite side of this ditch would have been where the wall is, and beyond the wall, in this area, would have been the houses, the barracks, tool sheds, armories, things like that, sleeping quarters. And this square that you're looking at right now, like I said, is one of 2 or 3 in this area. So this would have been a very, very strong holding point with a lot of activity and a lot of muscle. So yeah, it just blows the mind. What I'm here for though is not the history as such. It's the strange reports of people seeing things. I think that this is where we'll perform most of tonight's investigation.
Intrigued by all the legends and eerie tales that surround this place, Ben's curiosity only grows stronger as the sun begins to set. Determined to make the most of the fading daylight, he grabs his flashlight and heads back toward one of the ancient Roman fortifications, hoping that, in the quiet of dusk, he might sense something unusual. Whether it's a strange sound, a sudden shift in the atmosphere, or something entirely unexplainable, Ben is ready to experience whatever the night might have in store.
As you can see, it's really starting to become more darker and darker. I keep looking in, I keep checking in with Lily, just to make sure that she's not picking up on anything, and right now she doesn't seem like she's alert. She's alert. Is that someone shouting? What the hell is that?
Dan had come here chasing the thrill of the unknown, the unexplainable. But now, hearing what sounded like a person's voice echoing in the distance, he wasn't sure whether he was dealing with someone in need or something unexplainable. With civilization miles away, the idea of encountering another person out here was strange enough. But what made it worse was the uncertainty. Was it human? Or was it something trying to sound like one? Still, despite the discomfort creeping in, Dan's curiosity didn't waver. If anything, it grew stronger. Whatever this was, he wasn't ready to turn back just yet.
It would be so cool to hear something of that era, something that I could identify as being out of place. For example, the sounds of wooden wheels of a horse cart or something like that. You know, that just wouldn't be something that you'd hear up here, especially with it being on grass. So if I heard that, that would definitely be out of place. On the camera it looks quite light, so I think that the camera must be working overtime to expose me correctly. Whereas here in real life, it's much darker. Lily's alert, don't get me wrong, she's got her head up, she's looking around still, so she's definitely not settled, but she doesn't seem like she's worried either, so that's good.
Since the sun had begun to set, the atmosphere around Ben shifted in an instant. The peaceful landscape turned heavy, and every sound seemed to echo a little longer than it should. But Ben had come here in search of the unnatural, and he reminded himself that his mind could just be playing tricks on him. But still filled with hope and curiosity, he started asking questions aloud, trying to reach out to whatever might still be lingering in this ancient place.
If there is any Roman soldiers that were stationed in this barracks, that served here for any length of time, that wishes to communicate, please step close to the device held in my hand. If that was you that stepped close to the device in my hand, could you please do this again? Was you a Roman soldier here? make the lights on the device go up to indicate that you was? Was you stationed here as a Roman soldier?
Dan continued asking questions, hoping to make some sort of contact, but no clear response ever came. Eventually, with the forest growing darker and colder around him, he decided to call it a night. He made his way back to camp with a quiet sense of disappointment. But those strange, human-like sounds he'd heard earlier wouldn't leave his mind. Given how far he was from any form of civilization, the idea that someone else might have been out there too was unsettling, to say the least. Still, nothing else occurred during the night, and maybe that was for the best. So what do you think those sounds were? Could it have been other campers hidden somewhere in the woods? Or did Dan unknowingly capture something much harder to explain? Something not entirely human? Let us know your thoughts. As that was all for today, folks. If you enjoyed these horrifying clips, subscribe to my channel and click to see more on the video on screen.